Hey, what's up? Today we're going to be changing out the ELD, or the electronic load detector, from a 2003 Honda CRV. I got an error message on the OBDII, which was the P1298, indicates as a bad electronic load detector. So I'm going to walk through the steps to replace that. The first thing we want to do is disconnect the battery. So we're going to disconnect the negative cable here, and then we'll walk through the steps. Alright, I've disconnected the battery. That's really important here because we're going to be dealing with the electronics, and we don't want to fry any of the electronic components. The ELD is located here in the engine compartment. If you look and find the fuse box in the engine compartment here, we're going to just open this up, pull open these tabs here, open up the engine compartment fuse box, and if we look in here, we can see this here is actually the ELD. So what we need to do is I'm going to walk through pulling out these things, and then we're going to have to undo. There's a connector underneath this, and this is the ELD we're going to be replacing. So what I'm going to do is take a Phillips screwdriver here. I'm going to take out 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 Phillips head screws here, because there's this silver bar that goes through the middle of the ELD. So we're going to have to remove that. We're going to take those 4 screws out and then pull those components off. Alright, so you can see I have removed those. The next thing I'm going to do is release the fuse box from the car. So there's actually 4 of these tabs, one here, here, and on the back corners here. And you'll see there's a little tab here. You're going to push that in, and you can pull that up, and then see this tab right there. Push that in, and each one of these, once you push it in, you should be able to release it and pull it up away from the metal bar that's holding it. Actually, I had the wrong one. It's on the end here. You can see this this metal bar is what's holding it to the car. So that one's loose now. And we're going to release it here and here as well. And once I release all those, we'll be able to pull it. I'm going to have to do this with 2 hands, pull that away from the car. After you get those 4 tabs out, there's one more thing that's going to hold this down and connect it. And if you look here, let me turn that. If you look under here, this plastic connector going through here, we're going to have to pry that up with a screwdriver. If we can pry that up out of there, we should be able to get this loose. So I'm going to pry that loose, and have to do that with 2 hands. After we get that loose, then we should have a little bit more room to maneuver the fuel box. Alright, I got this fuse box loose. Kind of want to twist it over, make sure you don't touch anything to the negative battery cable. But this is a plastic cover, and we're going to have to pry that loose. If we pry that loose, we should see the bottom, there's a connection on the bottom of the ELD. So I'm going to get a little screwdriver, and I'm going to pry that bottom. Alright, I'm able to get that loose. And I'll try to do this with 1 hand so I can hold the camera. Alright. We take that off there, set that aside. And we can see the connectors underneath here. And if we look, it's this one right here. If you can look up on top here to see the ELD. And it's this connector right here that's connected to the bottom of the ELD. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull that out, disconnect that from the ELD, and then we'll go around top and take it back out. So I have pulled that connector out. It wasn't too difficult to get that out. I'm going to pull this back over here, and now we can work to pull up the ELD. And if we pull that up, you can see that it comes right out. And we're going to get the new one and make sure this goes back into place. We're going to just slide this metal piece out and slide it into the new one. Alright, I've got the new ELD. This is the part number for my car. You have to make sure you get the right part number. It's a little bit better without the glare. So I got the new one here, and if I open that up, make sure it looks like the old one. You can see. So what I'm going to do is line them up the same way. I'm going to take this out of the old one, slide it right into the new one, and that one's going to be discarded. So now I've got the new ELD here, and the fuse box, it's going to slide right back into place here. And now I'm going to do is connect the connector from the bottom, and then put the screws back in the top here. Make sure I had this lined up right so that I can just push this one in here, and I'm going to hold the ELD from the top end. So when I push this connector in, it snaps into place correctly. Alright, so once I got that in, I'll flip it back over and we'll screw it back. I've got the connector on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up these slots with the metal tabs the same way I took it off here on the back side, and then I'll do that plastic connector afterwards, but I should be able to get those back in so that it's stable again. Okay, I've got my connectors back in here. As you can see, I slid them back in here, and then here, and then the wiring one that slides in the side here. Once you get them, make sure it's down there firmly, and then you should be able to make sure you've got that plastic thing back, the connector back in there, so that doesn't pull loose. And then you kind of like double check, make sure this thing's in there, make sure none of them are loose. After that's done, we're going to just screw back in both of these connectors. You can see I've got both of those connectors screwed back in. So now really it's just a matter of putting the cover back on. We'll connect the battery, put that back on, connect our negative terminal, and then we're ready for the test. And that's all there is to it. Alright, so I started up the car, and I didn't even have to reset the code. The check engine light went off. So everything looks good now, so I'm just going to test drive it. But anyways, if you get to P1298, it's probably most likely your electronic load detector, and it is a pretty simple fix. I think the part was about $55 at the Honda dealership. You can get a little bit cheaper online. I saw it for about $35, but it's a pretty simple fix, something you can do yourself.